people of Glendora and surrounding areas, Pasadena, Covina, some of the other ones, please put your hands together for Dave No. Hi, how are you? Thank you. I'm incredible. Thank you. Thank you. Stop it. Come on. No, don't clap for me. Clap for yourself. No, don't clap for me, please. Clap for yourself. Come on. We have to keep things moving. I want to leave time for the Q&A. It's really great to be back in Glendora. The Paris of Los Angeles County. Beautiful this time of year. You know, when I was a kid growing up in Cleveland, Ohio, thank you. The Paris of Northeastern, well, you see my point. When I was a kid growing up in Cleveland, my dad used to take my siblings and me to Glendora every weekend. He'd pick us up from school on Friday afternoon. We'd go straight to the airport, fly out to LAX, rent a car, we drive out here, get out of the car and just have a good 10, 15 minute look around, head straight back to the airport. But it was exhausting, but it's some of my most cherished memories of childhood. And I always said, Dad, do you think, I'll ever get to perform for the people of Glendora? And he said, yeah, if you practice real hard and you just believe that. And also, when the tour is being routed, there's not anywhere in the city of Los Angeles proper, then yeah. So it's really great to be here. I wanted to come out with guns blazing, so I thought I'd play a little guitar to get things started for you. Are there any requests? Any song from all time? Kansas, okay. It goes on from there. Thank you. Any other song? Freebird. All right, but I'm going to do all of it. If you get a sense of it. Thank you. Any other song? What? Light my fire. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Any other song? Eruption. Okay. I just blacked out for a second. All right. I'm going to give this thing a little time to cool off. So I'll bring it out during the meet and greet later, which is at Tommy's Burgers, right here in town. Sorry, jeez. It's really, I love this the hub, this place we're at right now. It's such a great. I love it. I've actually been thinking of opening my own nightclub. Actually, thank you. Check this out. The name of my nightclub is going to be called Club Taboo. It's pretty cool, right? Yeah, Club Taboo. And everyone's gonna wanna go to Club Taboo because they're gonna think it's one of those real anything goes type places, right? But they're wrong. It's the opposite. Everything is taboo at Club Taboo. There's no dancing, there's no free refills on soft drinks, and we close at 8:30. Club Taboo, don't make a night of it. Club Taboo, where every call is last call. Club Taboo, you should have stayed home. Been hanging out with my dad a lot lately. Thank you. Thank you. My dad just turned 90 years old. Give him a hand. Yeah. So yeah. All right, that's enough. That's enough. That's good. Thank you. No, but he's getting up there. So I've been trying to spend as much time with him as possible, to create some lasting memories and make sure I get in the will and stuff. And my dad lives where I'm from, in Cleveland. Thank you. Thank you. No, come on. It's sort of like a sexy Detroit. Now, my dad lives in Cleveland, and he just moved out of the house that I grew up in into a one-bedroom apartment way out in the middle of the woods, way out in the middle of nowhere. And I just went home and I stayed with him, just the two of us in that little apartment for a whole week. And by the end of that week, we were pretty much one raccoon shy of a full-on Grey Garden scenario. And you'll notice not that many people laughed at that joke, but the cool thing about that joke is if you've seen Grey Gardens right now, you're like, well, that's the best joke I'll hear all year. But the good thing about that joke is you can see Grey Gardens like 10, 20, 30 years from now, and you remember tonight and just be like, Dave Hill did it again. He's the best there ever was. Thank you. And my dad's also like a super Irish Catholic guy, so he goes to church pretty much whenever it's unlocked. He'll check the door and he'll be like, Dave, it's open, let's get inside. If we get inside, they have to start a mass. It's in the Bible. Which means I gotta go to church all the time whenever I'm home visiting him. And I was just home visiting him. It was Sunday, so my dad's like, Dave, it's Sunday, we gotta go to church. And I was like, Dad, I don't wanna go to church, it sucks. And then my dad's like, Dave, I'm pretty sure they're gonna have free donuts after mass. And I was just like, get in the car, old man, I'll drive. And we go into church and we're sitting there and it's like so boring. Like the priest is going on and on about Nazareth. And I was just like, dude, calm down. Like, they weren't even that good of a band. But then it got kind of cool. He's like, this is the gospel according to Mark. And he tells a story. It's called the miracle of the loaves and the fishes. Does anyone know it? Yeah, it's one of the hottest jams in the Bible. One of the top 10 greatest, top 10 greatest hits in the Bible. So if you don't know it, I'll tell it to you now. And then those of you that know it, let me know if I get anything wrong. So like way back in, Jesus' seat Bible times, there's this guy, I'll call him Todd, right? And Todd's having a party. It's not even a party, it's more of just a housewarming get-together type thing. And Todd's like, everyone come over at 7 o'clock. I'm gonna have some bread and some fish and some water. And all Todd's friends are like, oh my God, this party seems like it's gonna suck. I don't wanna go to this party. And then they're all like, well, we have to go. Todd's our friend. Let's come up with a plan. We'll go to the party for like 45 minutes and then we'll just give each other a sign and we'll just be like, Todd, oh my God, this party was so fun. But we gotta get going back to Bethlehem. You know how that traffic is on the road to Gethsemane. And they're like, well, that's a really good plan. Okay, we'll go. So they all go to Todd's house and they walk in and Todd's like, oh my gosh, you guys, thanks so much for coming. Help yourself to some bread and some fish and some water. And all of Todd's friends are just like, no thanks. And Todd's standing there with his friend, I'll call him Randy, right? And Randy's watching people like slowly trickle into the party when he sees this guy with like the long hair and the beard and the flowing gown and stuff. And Randy's like, Todd, oh my God, that guy walking in your house right now looks exactly like Jesus Christ. And Todd's like, dude, that is Jesus Christ. He's friends with my friend Karen. And I didn't say to bring friends, but I didn't say not bring friends. And I guess she about the son of God. And so everyone starts freaking out and they're like calling and texting each other. And like, you gonna come to Todd's party? And the other guy's like, no, I heard that party sucks. And the first guy's like, I'm here right now. Jesus Christ just walked in. It's honestly one of the top 5 Messiah-based parties I've ever been to. You should come. So people start coming from all over those places, and like those jerks from Galilee showed up, and they just start like guzzling all the water and eating all the bread and all the fish. And Todd starts freaking out. He's like, oh my God, I really wasn't expecting this. And Randy's like, you should have anticipated a little bit. And then Todd's like, if this keeps up, I'm gonna have to go on a bread, fish and a water run. And Jesus Christ overhears this, and he's like, guys, don't worry about it. I'll totally take care of it. And Todd's like, wow, Jesus Christ seems like a pretty cool guy. I heard mixed things. Seems like a good guy. And so Jesus, he starts with the water, and he just goes blammo, and he makes all this wine, right? And it's not like a house white and a house red. He makes a Chardonnay. He makes a Sauvignon Blanc. He makes a Pinot Grigio. He even made a Riesling. I know. And he even made a Gewürztraminer. I know. And this guy's like, Gewürztraminer, that's a little too sweet for my taste. And Jesus Christ pours it, and somebody's like, here, try it. And the guy's like, wow, actually, that's perfect. He makes a Cabernet Sauvignon. He makes a Merlot. He makes a Malbec. He makes a Shiraz and a Syrah. A lot of people don't know that's two different things. Jesus Christ did. He even made a ton of rosé. I know, and this is long before the renaissance of rosé that we know today. So everyone's like, Jesus Christ, hate to break it to you, but no one really drinks rosé. And Jesus Christ is just like, check back with me in 2,000 years, you Philistines. He even made a ton of white Zinfandel. Yeah, and everyone's like, white Zinfandel? Only underage white chicks drink that. And Jesus Christ is just like, shut up, look at the corner, shut up. And so then Jesus moves on to the fish, and he just goes blam, and he makes all this fish, and it's not like some breaded cod. He makes like a mahi-mahi, and he makes a tilapia. And it's like perfectly light and flaking off the bone, and he left the head on, and a lot of people are like, well, normally it bothers me when the head's still on. In this case, it doesn't bother me, I don't know why. And he even made a tarragon drizzle. I know, and the people that haven't tried it yet were like, tarragon drizzle, that doesn't seem like it would pair very well with mahi-mahi and tilapia at all. But the people that had already tried it were just like, you know, it's actually really good, brings out the flavor of the fish. I think we should give it a shot. And so then he moves on to the bread, and I don't even know how to describe what he did with the bread. He starts with a pumpernickel loaf. Do you know what I'm talking about? Those big brown loaves of bread, right? And then he takes a knife, and then he cuts like a circle around the center of the pumpernickel loaf, and he removes basically like all the bread from the center of the pumpernickel loaf, and he sets that to the side. Then he makes spinach dip. I don't know where he found the time either. And then the hole that's been created by removing the center of the pumpernickel loaf, he then fills that with the spinach dip. Then the bread that's been set aside, he gets a knife and he cuts that into these like triangular pieces, and then he sets that, sort of arranges them around the perimeter of the bread, and then you're supposed to grab those and dip. Can you guys even picture what I'm talking about at all? All right, oh, so you know this. So everyone at the party's like, Jesus Christ, I can't believe you made us pumpernickel spinach dip. And this is the best joke of the night. Jesus Christ just goes, hey, what are you guys talking about? I made that all for me. Big laugh. And everyone's like, wow, our Lord and Savior has a really great sense of humor too. Didn't see it coming. And but here's the messed up part. He made all this food, but no side dishes, right? So people are like, literally, Jesus Christ, where are the side dishes? Make some string beans, boil a bag of rice. And Jesus is just like, you guys are a bunch of jerks. I'm going to my friend's house and they're making me dinner, and there's 12 of them, and we all sit on the same side of the table for no apparent reason. I'm so sorry, I can't remember why I brought this up. Oh, my dad and I ate so many donuts. That's what I meant to tell you. That was the point of the story. Thank you. So it's October, as you know, not to show off my working knowledge of the calendar, but I thought, I know, you know, the end of the month is Halloween, right? And I know we're, you know, it's a little ways off, but I thought, you know, it might be appropriate if you guys even think you can handle it, for me to tell kind of a ghost story. It's not even really a ghost story, it's more like the scariest story of all time. Do you guys want to hear it? All right, you've been warned. All right, I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna get as far into it as I only have a few minutes left, so I'm gonna have to squeeze in as much as I can, and then once upon a time, we'll just have to stop it. But I thought I'd play some scary music to sort of set the scary mood of this really scary story. So. pretty terrifying, isn't it? Hey, Puddles, can you come out here and help me out a little bit? It's my buddy Puddles. So you can see these people are already freaking out, Puddles. This guy pissed himself already. The front seat. Front row. You know, what makes this story especially scary is everything I'm about to tell you actually happened to some guys that I know. Or should I say, knew. Oh shoot, I screwed up the ending. I'm so And what makes it even scarier is it actually happened right here in Glendora. Or it might have been actually Pasadena, or even the reason I'm not unsure is because I'm just trying to forget. It's so horrifying. Anyway, there's these guys. There's 5 of them: Johnny, Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike. They're best friends. They've been friends forever. Think of your oldest friend. These guys have been friends for longer than whoever you're thinking of right now. Anyway, and they just graduated college, and they want to really have one last blowout, right? And, you know, before they moved on, a couple of the guys were gonna move to the East Coast. Another guy was joining Habitat for Humanity, which is really great. The other guy just working part-time at Bed Bath & Beyond. I don't know what that's about. And then so, one of them, their uncle, I think it was Ronnie, his uncle had this cabin like way out in the woods. So far, so remote, it didn't even show up on Google Maps. They just had like a map that was drawn out, like scrawled out in charcoal. It's really difficult to read. And then the other guy, his dad had bought him a Vans because he wanted to see America. I don't know if I would have jumped myself, but he did. And it was a really nice van. It had like DVD player, it had a VHS player, it had a Betamax, basically all past and unknown forms of video, and it had like CD player, cassette player, 8-track, it had spot. You see, my point is, it was a really nice van, and so they loaded up with beer and some weed, and one guy brought some Goldschlager, like as an ironic joke, but everyone's like, it's actually pretty good, and they made this mixtape. It was like the hottest mixtape for their drive. They had all the best bands. Like, who's your favorite band, sir? Iron Maiden. Yeah, there was like so much Iron Maiden. Who's your favorite band, sir? Pink Floyd and Ween were also on the show. I need one more band. Who's your favorite band? Really cutting into the story, by the way. There's a tumbling sound. Okay, enough. Anyways, they're driving, and they along the way they see these like 5 beautiful blonde women outside the road. They pull over and they're like, "You guys okay?" And they're like, "Yeah, our car broke down or was stolen. We can't remember." And they're like, "My name's Helga." And they were from Sweden, and they're like swimsuit models. So, "Do you want to come party with us in the cabin?" And they get in, and they had a mixtape too, and it had all the same jams on it: Iron Maiden, Ween, and they're like, "Oh my God!" And they took their tops off, not in a sexual way. They were just European. It wasn't a big deal. And anyway, they're driving, the van breaks down, and like, "Oh my God, what are we gonna do?" You know, like freaking out. They're like, and they're hitching their child, like, "So stop the car!" All the cars are going by. Finally, in the distance, this car is coming, slowing down. It gets closer, and it's a PT Cruiser. This guy's driving a PT Cruiser, and they're like, "Well, we gotta take what we can get." And he's like, "Can I help you?" And he's got this like crazy hair, and he's like, my name's Crazy Randy. And oh my gosh, I'm out of time. My point is, he kills them all. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Puddles. You guys, okay, I've been Dave Hill. You gotta trust me, that story gets a lot scarier. Oh! Okay, I think I'm ready. Are you guys ready? All right, roll the intro.